What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Beyond the Neon Veil. I'm your host, Cousin Ryan, and this is part 2 of Brink's interview about Sin City. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. Hope you enjoy.
2 strip clubs there, and I don't think we've been to one since. I think it soured me on the experience.
Right.
But yeah, food there, attractions with the Mario or the go-karts, all that. The gambling I wasn't really keen on because it's pull a lever, see if you win, pull a lever, see if you win, or I'm good at poker if it's at my house or at Josh's house or mine and Josh's house when we're living together.
Yeah.
With other people, by the way, not a weird thing. But not good like at a table with a bunch of strangers that I don't know, that I can't have some rapport with and shoot the shit with, and a dealer who's always getting mad at me for like stupid little shit that I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Supposed to do, like, hey, don't do that, man. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. So, our bullshit card rooms back home, they're very nice, though. They don't care. They don't give a shit.
Right.
Like, whatever.
Yeah. Where dealer changes every freaking round.
Yeah. Vegas, they're very stickler about their stuff.
Mm-hmm. So. Take you out back and kneecap you if you talk back to them the wrong way.
I've honestly, I'm not a fan as much as machines. Yeah, I'll play them, but I'm a very big fan of go sitting at a craps table or mostly craps. I'll play blackjack.
Sitting and just betting on other people throwing, or you like to do the throwing?
Both. I'll bet on people too. There was a year where we played. It was an hour and a half. We sat at a table with one guy rolling, and I won close to $1,000. Everyone else around me won a bunch of money, but the guy was there for an hour and a half straight. It was one of those things to where I didn't realize how much time went by until I looked down and I had 6 drinks in front of me, and when I tried to step away, I was like, oh shit. All right.
Fantastic. Hey, you got to take advantage. If you're on a hot streak, you're on a hot streak. And if it takes you getting a little toasty, then you got to be a little toasty.
It's a fun time. And telling everyone, if you're playing at the tables, playing at the, any tables, poker, blackjack, craps, whatever, those waitresses will come around. And especially if you tip, they'll come back quick.
Yeah. Yeah. And the drinks stack up quick.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just about whatever you want to.
Yeah. But really, I was, That's exactly how I feel about them unlimited drinks there.
AMFs was a thing in my early 20s, and I'll never touch them again because of that
AMFs
reason.
at Pete's downtown.
Back home, really?
Pete's nightclub. Yeah, before it closed down.
Oh, man.
That's where we had the 21st, where we ended up on the bathroom floor of my folks' house, and my dad trying to, middle of the night, trying to wake up, go to the bathroom, open the door, nails me in the head a couple of times in order to see what's behind the door, because he can't see it, only opens a little bit. He pulls his phone out, takes a picture, and looks at it, and then posts it on freaking Facebook.
Oh, no.
Because it's just me.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, 21st, what are you going to do? People buy you shots. You can't say no. Well, you can, but I don't.
We did my 21st here, and thank God there wasn't a whole lot of pictures of dumb shit that we did. So we did some dumb shit.
There are many of mine, unfortunately.
I've been there for some of them for you. So
yeah, my lady at the time was a bit of a picture taker. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's always fun. So okay, so you went to the 2 strip clubs. Glitter Gulch was last. Fremont. How soon after did you guys leave after that?
That was the last night, I think. Okay. We kept that till the last night. We were just trying to, have an experience. We went down to Old Town, hit Fremont, did a bunch of walk-in, made sure we got everything in. But then we ended with, I think we split up a little bit on Fremont because that's where Glitter Gulch is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We split up a little bit because it was just me and my buddy. And then the other 2 other groups, they were couldn't decide on what to do, so we're just kind of off doing our own thing. But yeah, one of the fellas I think was big on hitting like the Nike store, big on kicks and all that. So
There's a lot of good shopping.
yeah,
When
until you get around those sneaker shops and you got someone hollering at you, say, "Hey, I'll clean your shoes." And like, these are gross, man. Don't clean these. Yeah, your shoes stuck in here. I just told you that, man. Don't be a jerk.
It's funny that you say you brought back a memory. I had a friend come here for his first time not too long ago, and I remember him being hammered walking through a casino, and one of the shoe shine places like talked him into it. He sat down and they shoe shined his shit kickers, his boots. Just a country boy,
Mm-hmm.
his shoes shined, and it was so funny to watch because it was like, it was great.
Well, I mean, when in Vegas, right?
Yeah. I guess, man. I guess we had to wait for his ass to get done, but
yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so funny. So for everyone watching, that drive from where you're talking from when we're from Yakima to Vegas was like what, 14 hours, something like that?
Probably 17 or 18 when it was all told. Because that was, the traffic certain ways that we had to go because of the construction. But yeah, I think it was all told 17-hour drive.
And there's some parts of that drive through Nevada that are somewhat sketchy as fuck. So 2-lane highway, middle of nowhere, no gas stations.
Yeah, not ideal. No. Especially middle of the night, which is I think when we were traveling through them.
And so did you guys drive back? Like, I would imagine you slept, woke up, and then left the next morning.
Yes.
Summer, you were probably a little hungover, I would imagine, making that drive.
Before we even got out of Vegas, I had them pull over and I ralphed just outside the door. Whoa! Blam! All right, let's go. Like, that's gross. So I was like, yeah, it had to be done.
That's a long
either outside or in here, buddy. So
did you drive any of the way back?
Very little, because at that point I had so much to drink that my body was shivering from the effects of it. On the way home, I was not having a good time.
Driving to Vegas always seems like a great idea until you have to drive home, and then you're just like, this was dumb as shit.
It was not the best idea, but it was how we got there because that was the only way.
Yeah, the cheapest way with that many people, for sure.
Plus, we're a social group. We like to jam out. We like to have conversations. We like to flip each other shit, and it's hard to do that on a plane without getting the air marshal called. So,
this is true. This is very true. Actually, it's funny because you say that, because when we came down for 1 year with me and my buddies, it was 5 of us on a plane. Somehow the stewardess made friends. The flight made friends with our group and was throwing shit at us, throwing napkins, throwing bags of peanuts, just hucking them at my friends.
That's how you know it's going to be a good time.
It was a great start to the trip for sure.
Did you get her number? Was she stopping over in Vegas or what?
It wasn't towards me. It was the other guys. I was more of a, can we not get arrested before we get there, please?
Well, someone's got to be the voice of reason at some point. Yeah.
And my group of friends, we some of them, we do dumb shit all the time. So just a little bit. Yeah. I know you still hang out with some of them. But yeah, dude, Vegas, one of the things that I really want everyone to come down and do when they come back to come visit is this place called Lost Spirits Distillery. And it's at Area 15. I have to tout Area 15 as much as I can. It's a really cool spot. They have an Omega Mart there.
Is that like a play on Area 51?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a really cool spot. And I'll show you some of the pictures I took. It's actually in one of the intro to the new intro I did. But at night, it's blacklit inside this building. It's really cool neon. But the Lost Spirits Distillery, it's a distillery, but you get a ticket, you go in, and it's like shows while you're going around drinking different kinds of rum. It's really cool.
Kind of shows.
There's music, there's burlesque, an aerial dancer was there. And inside there was one, when you walk around, there's certain spots where there's a lady in a cage who was contortionist with a snake with her.
Contortionist and a snake?
Yeah, it was fucking cool, dude.
Some of that fusion stuff I was telling you about earlier, man. Vegas has all sorts of that.
My favorite thing though was there was a spot. It was a jazz lounge, and the girl was singing punk. It was jazz punk, and it was It was the dopest thing I've ever seen. To where I was like, this is
That's a
cool. I can
fun
sit here
one.
all day.
Yeah. Okay.
So I highly recommend doing that when you come back down. It's
All
cool as shit.
right. Do a little jazz noodling, listen to a little punk.
Yep.
All right.
Well, and come the end of the year in October, we're going to do a live stream. When We Were Young is coming back for the second year, and it's going to be Green Day, Blink-182, shit like that. So me and my buddies are going to live stream that show and talk about that weekend.
Speaking of stuff like that, I miss Warped Tour, man.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that. The episode before this, and it's going to be out already here in a few weeks. That's the 3-hour one that I recorded that I have to break down. A really good friend of mine now, her name is Rachel, who did the show. She used to work for Warped Tour, and that entire dude. And so the episode before this, if you haven't watched the episode before this, go watch it. It's going to be a 2-parter. And she talks about Vegas, but she also talks about her time on Warped Tour and the bands that she met and the things that she got to see and do. And so it wasn't a typical Vegas story, but it was cool as shit.
What was the location of the Warped Tour that she was working at?
Your audio went out. I can't hear you. Hello?
Hello?
There you go. Now I can hear you.
Okay, let's try that again. What was the location of the Warped Tour venue that she was at? Was it?
She worked. She did. There were times when she worked almost the entire show, the entire trip. So she did the Gorge. She was there at the Gorge for some of the things that we saw. But she did them all, man. And she has stories of the ones in California and stuff like that.
Yeah, to travel with the Warped Tour would be a really nice experience. But man, just seeing Warped at the Gorge was incredible.
She told me, and I know she talked about it on the show, but I'll tell you here too. She told me that it was one of her favorite. It was one of the favorite spots of most of the bands. But like who've been there, it was a shit show to get from the main stage back up to the rest of Warped Tour because of the hill. The main stage is right there on the Gorge, and then everything else is behind it.
Yep.
So
they
hated that walk.
Real quick,
It was good. It was good times, dude. Concerts here are great. I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of good shows. Being a Raider fan, I love the fact that they're calling it the Death Star. I don't agree with the name, but whatever. That's what they're calling the stadium, apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
Does it look like a Death Star?
No, not even.
Yeah, that's weird. Then I don't get it. Is it black?
Well, the black hole. It is partially black, yeah. So I mean, I understand what they're doing, but
I guess Vader was in a black TIE fighter, but the Death Star was gray, like a moon.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's weird.
It's weird, but it's a cool spot, a cool stadium. I love it. I hope we get baseball here soon. I hope we get an NBA here soon. So,
still salty about Sonics, but what can you do there?
It's been a long time. You're gonna need to let that go.
I can't. I'll never.
Oklahoma City Thunder, man.
We're done so dirty.
So the other thing I'm going to recommend for those of you watching to come down and for Brink when you come visit, there's a lot of cool spots to go hang out, just to go eat brunch and to people watch, because that's one of my favorite things to do on the Strip is to people watch. Right there, actually, I think it's on your screen. There's a spot right next to the Eiffel Tower. It's called Alexa's, and it's a cool little brunch spot that's right on the other side. There you go. Yep, right there. And it's cool because you can sit outside, eat brunch, and watch people walk by. The fountains are across the street. So it's a really
Vegas is an entirely different kind of people watching. It's not your average, go to the mall, sit in the massage chair, watch your average people walk by. You're going to find some weirdos, man.
Yes. My favorite, one of my other favorite spots to hang out, and I think you'll appreciate this, is the Taco Bell Cantina. It's
a full cantina of Taco Bell?
It's a Taco Bell that serves liquor.
Oh!
And it's 2 floors. And I know I've talked about this on other episodes, but I love this place. Upstairs is like a little club scene, but there's a seating spot where you look outside onto the Strip. So being able to sit there and just eat your fucking Taco Bell and watch people.
Oh, man. All right. So give me a rundown of what an ideal day out on Vegas would look like, starting with, let's start with a little hair of the dog.
So
get to maybe some brunch.
All right, hair of the dog. There's a lot of cool spots off the Strip that I really like to go to. My favorite to hang out is Steiner's. It's a Nevada style pub. That's on the south side of Las Vegas Boulevard. That's a really good spot to start. Cheap breakfast, great drinks. The staff there amazing. I love them. They're open 24/7, so it's great. So I normally start there.
What kind of breakfast we looking at there?
My best friend Skip loves the corned beef and hash. I love just their regular, their eggs and bacon and hash brown shit. It's amazing. Their pancakes are freaking huge. So it's just good shit, and it's
like a diner style.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's cheap too, so it's so great. It's
I can
so
get down
great.
on that. All right.
Their Bloody Marys there are always on point. Like they always make them great. So I always start there to start my day.
Mm-hmm.
But then my favorite thing to do, and I'm kind of different from a lot of people, but for me, like for my birthday this recently, I start at like Mandalay Bay. I start at the very south side of the strip, the last hotel there. You can go in and buy two beers and a shot for like $15 to $20, and they're tall boys.
Oh, that's not terrible. Yeah.
No. And so that's how I start my day. I'll buy 2 beers and a shot, and I'll drink those as I'm walking up north to the strip.
Sure. I mean, we almost need one of those belts that have the cup holders in it at that point. You know, put those in there, take the shot, keep moving.
I've started traveling with beer koozies. That way, I'll double fist my beers as I'm walking up. Alexa's is a great spot for brunch later in the day if you want to go stop there and eat. I love it. It's what I was just mentioning. But then again, I go to the Link Promenade quite a bit, and I'll go check out whatever's down there. They have an American, a beer spot that's all beer.
Oh, wow.
And it's they rotate the beers out, so it's always something different. It's right there on the promenade. They got the big, oh my God, what's it called? Like Jenga. They have the 2x4 Jengas. They have also dude, it's a cool spot to hang out.
Oh my God.
It's a cool spot to just chill.
You get caught underneath one of those falling down, man. You're done for the night.
Yeah, for real. Although, and so that's, and I'll start there. Like we did that for our birthday. We went to a rooftop bar. That's brand new that just opened. Mm-hmm. So where you're on the roof, you're looking out over the strip, and we were drinking up there. Old fashions were amazing. The comedy clubs are really great. Mm-hmm. We went to the Oyo for a comedy club, which was really funny. LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere is really fun. If you ever get a chance, go to the top of the Stratosphere. I've jumped off it when I first moved here. That's cool as shit. So they have an open platform. It's just a big open platform, and they hook you up and you free fall. You don't bungee, you just free fall down, and it slows you down.
Huh.
It was trippy.
I don't know, man. That's okay.
I have a GoPro. I'll send you the video of it from the GoPro we took.
Yeah.
It was legit.
I mean, I guess that would be a lot easier than bungeeing because it's a nice, slow, gentle stop rather than hey, we're stopping real fast and then you're going back up by.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because they have you stand on the edge of the platform and they just have you like just fall. But the guy I did it, my buddy Skip and I, when we did it, we were like, can we like jump off? That's fine, whatever. And so you took 2 steps and jumped, and you're like this, and then you fall because it was pretty legit. It was cool. Okay. But for me, for a lot of the times too, on weekends, a cool spot to go hang out is down on Fremont. The Nerd Bar, which is really cool. It's a tiny little bar down on Fremont. They have video games in there, old school video games, mini bowling, great drinks. It's just a cool spot to hang out on Fremont. But then when you're done with that, Cat's Meow.
Hold up.
Yes.
Tell me about this Nerd Bar.
So the Nerd Bar, depending on what time you go, sometimes there's a cover, sometimes there's not. It's like $5 to get in, but whatever. The cover's not terrible. The drinks are cheap. A lot of the drinks are nerd centric. Yeah. So they'll have nerd names to it. The bartenders are dressed up a lot of the times, nerdy cosplay type stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of cool people in there, and it has the old school, like the top games where you're playing old school ones. Mario and like I think Qbert was in there. Dig Dug.
Do they have like the consoles or is it the arcades?
No, like the arcade top. They do have consoles where you can rent the consoles and put them on a TV and play old school consoles too.
Oh, that's a trip.
One of my favorite things about this place that no one talks about is they have a mechanical bull, but it's a giant dildo, like shaped like a penis, and it's hilarious to watch people ride it, dude. It's so funny to watch people get hammered and ride that thing. So,
well, I mean, when in Vegas, right?
right, you
Right,
know,
a giant dildo that's supposed to be a bull. I got you.
so it's cool. It's not huge, but man, it's a lot of fun just to go hang out, and it's the cheaper side of drinks, and
That's awesome.
they pour heavy.
That's awesome. We
But
actually have
then,
something similar in Yak. Strangely enough, we have something called Game and Grog. It's a little
really,
bar, yeah, on First and Walnut, right around the corner there.
okay,
It is a bar that has shelves upon shelves of board games, tabletop games, anything like that you can play. And then on top of that, they have half a
okay,
dozen old retro consoles connected to TVs. And so you can sit down, a group of 1, 2, 3, 4, and game it out. And
that's awesome.
yeah, it's pretty dope. So that's kind of what I was hoping the nerd bar was about, and it sounds like that's pretty similar.
Well, you'll have to come check it out with me sometime.
For sure.
But the last thing that like the end of the night that I normally try to go do with people if they're here is the Cat's Meow. It's a karaoke bar club type thing. So there's 2 bars in there. It's right there on Fremont to where you can walk to the edge and you're looking at Fremont Street, people walking by. But the karaoke part is you sign up for it to do karaoke. They have MCs who are really good singers and entertainers, so they're out there singing karaoke songs too. There's dancing. It's a really fun time for those groups. Like if you come in with a mixed group or a group of girls, group of guys, whatever, go check this out because it's just a party. And it's the same people that own the one in New Orleans too. So it's like the same vibe. If I remember correctly, they do live stream online too. So if you're out there singing and someone wants to watch you, they can check it out. So
all right, hold up. What was that called? Cat's what now?
Cat's Meow.
Meow in Vegas. Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna be looking up some live streams as soon as we're done here. I want to watch people sing bad karaoke. Hell yeah!
It's a fun time. Yeah, live streams there.
Heck yeah! All right. Now you mentioned Massive Jenga. And Josh mentioned beer pong.
Yes.
Are there like a lot of places in town where y'all can do drinking games like that?
And what's funny is the beer pong, the O'Shea's that he's talking about was like 3 doors down from American where they do the Jenga and the 4x4 and stuff like that. So it's right there.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome. There are some places that have cornhole that you can go play while you're drinking. And I know that's really up your alley too. So
well, it's huge in Yak right now. There are multiple bars / brew pubs, I guess is the difference if they're brewing and doing the pouring. A lot of brew pubs in Yak right now that are doing cornhole tourneys. Kitty.
She wants to be on screen really bad.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, are there any other games besides those 3 in town that people get down on?
Some places.
For a while at Bill's place before the reno, we did a lot of washers.
That's not huge here. I don't see a lot of washers here. That was a very Washington Pacific Northwest thing. I think
it's nuanced. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a strange little game, but it's fun.
Well, because I remember playing that before I got introduced to cornhole. I remember growing up playing washers, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So, my grandfather introduced me to that. But
yeah. I think they just wanted to throw it further away and didn't want to be chucking metal at that point.
Right.
So they made it beanbags. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, it depends on, like I was saying, the shuffleboard that's there. There's a spot like ping pong. I know there is at the same bar where we did the VR, there's a giant basketball hoop, arcade basketball, but it's like really deep. It's not like a normal one where it's like up close, you're going to see it's really deep back there.
Wow.
And we'll have some guys on, but we had some friends from New Zealand who got drunk and climbed into it and were dunking on it. So, I think we have pictures and videos of that we'll be sharing in the near future.
This is the way.
This is the way. It's a great time, man. Vegas, there's just so much crazy shit to do all the time.
Oh, yeah. There's an opportunity around every corner to let loose, to have a good time, to really kind of come into your own and just let the cares of the world melt away. Whether you need, to drink to do that, or whether you need to eat to do that, or whether you want to, have someone grind up on you to do that.
Yes.
Whatever. They got what you need. If you need to drive it out, they got that.
So there's 2 country bars that I know of for sure that are here. There's a popular one that everyone goes to called Stoney's. that's in the mall, and it's a lot of country dancing, line dancing, obviously stuff like that. It's cool. There's another one at Treasure Island, TI, now known as TI, that's called Gillies. And that is a spot to where if you want to go hang out with like really drunk people, that's the one to go to, because it's not as big as Tony's, but people get trashed in there, and watching them try to line dance is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, and Treasure Island's kind of like centrally located on the strip, right? So everyone's sort of in that area anyway, and gravitate into that because of the water shows and whatnot.
Right. And so the unfortunate thing is, like, Treasure Island, they don't do their pirate show anymore. They stopped that for quite a few years ago, but they still have the water feature. They still have the ships out there just sitting there.
What was the decision to quit that for? What was that about?
It just didn't make sense. You know, they didn't want to make it as family friendly as what it was. Because right, so like, which is funny because they stopped the family friendly stuff here in Las Vegas, but now they want to slowly start bringing some of it back, kind of, I guess.
So someone fucked around and found out, and now they're like, "Oh, we messed up."
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Because, you know, I mean, people don't bring their kids to Vegas. If the adults have kids, you're not going to most likely bring your kids to Vegas because you can't do a whole lot with your kids.
No, unless you're leaving them in a hotel with some stranded grandparent, and no one wants that.
Well, again, I'll have stories to tell where we got left in our hotel without any grandparents.
At what age?
I think we were 12, 13, maybe.
Okay. So we found some charges on the account later. I gotcha.
That's a whole other story. Let's just say they made the mistake. They made the mistake of leaving one of those long-range walkie-talkies in our hotel in the room with us, and so we were fucking with people. But that's we'll have that story as well.
Oh, speaking of being in a hotel room and fucking with people, it wasn't really fucking with people, but it was people fucking. So, you know, in like hotel rooms, you got the windows and you're looking out, and there's other hotel rooms with windows and they're looking out. And sometimes you end up kind of looking at each other a little. Same trip, different night. We end up back in the room and we're winding down. And of course, we're sitting on the beds and looking out the window, and across the way, you know, a couple levels up, we can see open shades. Perfect scene of the bedroom. Dude doing this chick against the window.
So I apologize to my mother and the rest of my family who are watching this and anyone that knows me. But it's crazy how many girls I have dated and or have known who that's a bucket list item for them.
What, be seen?
A giant window overlooking the strip. They don't give two fucks if they're being seen. But a window over the strip.
These people ended up seeing us because, you know, we're all kind of rubbernecking like, are y'all seeing that? And so, you know, for a minute, I think they liked it. They were enjoying the audience. Then a couple of us, you know, wouldn't cut it out. And we're just kind of
staring.
Yeah, we were drinking. We didn't, you know.
Right.
And so, you know, eventually they kind of close the shades.
So I've had two experiences where I've seen people, one, not close the shades. They just let people watch, and it's crazy. Sure. But the funniest one I've ever seen was I remember walking out onto a balcony in one of my hotel rooms, and like they weren't across, they were just down one of the sides. I just remember looking over, and they're just out on the balcony. Like we're, you know, 30 floors up or whatever, but it's no shame. Just going to town.
I mean, yeah.
It's a great view, but shit, man, come on.
some people live that exhibitionist lifestyle, and that's okay. And some people don't like seeing people on the day-to-day, and that's okay too.
Especially when like we have things like the AVNs that are here, things that you get to see when you're walking around with people that come to that. So
well, I mean, you got pasties on the strip left and right. You're just eyeballing, so
pasties and basically naked.
Yeah,
I've seen some things. You know, it's funny. I haven't told the story yet, but we went to a Jelly Roll concert that was here not too long ago, and I remember watching the Chippendale guys on Fremont. You know how they're just standing out there shirtless or whatever, and they're handing out beads. It blows my fucking mind how many guys like get so offended. I watched 2 fights almost start because the guys would like give beads to the girlfriends and they'd start pushing these muscle dudes. It's like, bro, you're a drunk ass country boy. You're gonna get your ass beat by one of these guys. Like, are you
guy's just doing his job, giving your lady beads. He doesn't want to talk to her. He's not interested.
Like they get offended. It's like
gay, bud.
That's their job.
Yeah. Like, he's probably all, you know, jacked and swole and dancing for money, but he probably doesn't even like ladies, man.
Yeah. Especially your lady, bro. She looks
kissing him. Figure it out.
He's sloppy as shit walking by. Like, he doesn't want that. Like, he's working.
Some people just have too big of an ego. Gotta get rid of that.
Especially here in Vegas. Like, you have to just let it go. You have to let that all go.
If you're anywhere in a group of people, you gotta let that go, man. Yes. You can't live your life that way.
Right. Well, especially when you add alcohol into the mix, and you know, it's just gonna get worse.
Yeah, drunken ego, man. Nothing much worse.
No, not at all. But so yeah, I mean, that story of yours.
It's got some ups. It's got some weird turns. It's got some repeats.
I think that is one of the few Vegas, like real Vegas experiences that someone can have.
No.
You know, doing all of that stuff. I mean, not only just going to basketball, but the food, the people, the strip clubs. And you didn't even go to a show. You got your own type of show. You know what I mean? So did you at least watch the fountains at all while you guys were here? Or did you just like not even like do that?
Oh no, well, we were walking the strip. Yeah, we stopped a couple of times to watch the fountains and all that good stuff. So yeah, we did get a good amount of that, but not everyone wanted to walk as much as I did. So
right.
Yeah.
It's the same way for me. I can walk the entire strip. I mean, it's a long walk, miles on end, but living in Seattle for as long as I did, and you have to walk everywhere anyways.
You're already used to it. Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. But I love it because especially I love interacting with people. Just walking down the strip and watching people and talking to them and just taking into the conversations that you're hearing. It's the best part about the human experience, in my opinion.
Would you say people in Vegas are a little more open to be talking to strangers?
Yes.
If it's not involved in their job?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
I've met people from all around the world, the country, just bullshitting with them at a bar, sitting next to them at a slot machine. Shit, walking. How many pictures myself and my friend are in from tourists because they thought we were hilarious?
I need a picture. Take a picture of me.
So there were times
when you act like one of the busters outside. That'll be $5, man.
Yeah, right. Well, the funny thing was like, so there's those big walkways, the big sky bridges that you can't just keep you off the street when you're crossing the street. Mm-hmm. There were a lot of times where it'd be in the middle of like the busy time of the year, and it would be just me and one other friend. We'd lose each other, and we would scream Marco Polo. And it's one of those things where people like thought we were hilarious. We'd find it and we'd start dancing. We would just be so drunk that we'd just start dancing to the music. People start dancing with us, singing with us, and we're taking video.
Would you say that's more of a tourist thing or a resident thing?
Tourist.
Okay.
So I was here living as a local. Like I was living as a local, but it's the tourists that have fun.
Yeah.
For the most part, locals that I know, they avoid the strip like the plague.
Probably for good reason. The traffic down there is fucking abysmal.
Right, and it is. But that's why I Uber everywhere now, and it's I don't live
even
too far
that though, man. That's scary as shit. Hopping in some of those vehicles, like the taxis in Vegas, where you're taking your life into your own hands at that point.
Yeah, that's what everyone keeps telling me. I don't know. I guess I just to the point where I'm like, if they're gonna take me, then there's something wrong with them because I offer nothing. I offer nothing to the equation.
It was just madness the way that this guy was moving through traffic. He was absolutely. He must have seen some shit we didn't because he was making his way through way quicker than I never ever would have been able to.
I had that recently where I had an Uber driver I was sitting in the back like, holy shit, what's happening? Like, why are you swerving in and out of traffic and slamming on your brakes?
Yeah.
But I've had good experiences where I've gotten to an Uber, a van, and with some drunk friends, and they thought it was the fucking cash cab because as soon as we shut the door, the guy had lights all around and they started going off. They're screaming out. They're like, oh my God, we're in the cash cab. I'm like, no, the fuck we're not. Like, what? So
that would be great.
Shit, I had one guy. I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I had one Uber driver, one of the coolest guys I've ever met. We just started striking up a conversation, and he goes, "Hey man, there's a cooler in the back. Like, reach into it or grab it and bring it forward." I was like, "All right." So I grabbed it, pulled it up, and it was me and my girlfriend at the time, and we opened up, and he has the whole thing filled with Trulies and airplane bottle shots. And he goes, "Here, take one of each, man." I was like, "Fuck, hey, let's go! Like, let's go, dude! Hell yeah!"
You gotta wonder, like, what his play was there. Was he trying to sell those?
No, he didn't charge you for them.
Right, but like normally, if like you hadn't struck up a conversation, would he have tried to sell that, or would like, is that his personal stash of like, hey, I'm thirsty, I need one of these?
No, I think from what I understand from the Uber drivers, a lot of them do it for tips.
Okay.
Because like if you have a chill Uber driver, like for me, and that's what I ended up tipping him, a good amount of money and giving him a 5-star review because who does that?
Yeah, right.
I don't think he was gonna steal me, but I don't fucking know. You never know.
I'd like to think that at least someone I know would Liam Neeson their way into the hostage negotiations, but yeah.
I don't think anyone would come for me at this point.
Not anymore, man. Maybe at some point, not anymore.
All the stories that I've been told that are being told right now, no one's gonna want to come save me. They're like, no, he knows too much.
Yeah, my lady gets that call. She's like, bye.
No, the life insurance is under my name. We're good.
Right. Like, I love him, but he makes a lot of bad jokes.
So, well, all right. So if you ever come back to Vegas, like besides the things that I've told you about, like what's something that you want to come do besides the zip line and the roller coaster? Like what's something else like you've seen that you want to try, you've heard someone talk about that you want to try?
Well, like I was mentioning about the roller coaster, I definitely want to check that out.
Right.
Anything like you were saying that jumping, I think that'd be pretty dope. Pretty much just the tourist trap attractions at this point, the gimmicky stuff.
Right.
But then on top of that, really, a lot of the shopping there is quality.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's tons of different shops and tons of different stuff that you can hit and get. So I think if I was to spend money, I'd be doing it that way, that and eating. Because man, I could put some food away.
There's a spot. You say that there's a spot called Eataly, Eataly, right next to.
That's a great joke.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh,
it's across this. It's right next to New York. It's got great food in there. It's a really cool spot to go eat. New York has great food too, man. Depending on what you like. Like the Broadway Burger is probably my favorite burger joint in all of Las Vegas.
Ooh. Now, yeah.
Go ahead.
Do y'all have that spot that is hella disrespectful to you and puts them hats on you?
Dick's, yes.
Oh my god.
So there is a Dick's at Excalibur.
Have we been?
So the funniest fucking thing, right? The only time I've ever been in there was with a group of friends.
Mm-hmm.
We left immediately because the buddies I went with didn't know what they were getting into. And so they got offended almost fucking immediately as we sat down. And they're like, "We're leaving." And I was like, oh, it's part of the joke, man. Like,
you two leave. We're staying. Bye.
But no, it ended up being like most of them, but like 2 of us were offended. Everyone's like, "I don't want to deal with this shit." That's part of the whole gimmick, bro. Like, why'd we come here then?
I guarantee you they're not doing that because they actually hate you.
Yeah. They say some horrendous stuff in there, but it's, I've always heard the food's good. So I would always go if I could find people to go with who are fucking chill.
Okay.
So that's a great
I want to check that out. I'd be very curious about how I would be roasted at that point.
Oh, dude, they would.
But I'm not bold enough to be posting on Reddit, roast me. So.
No, pass on that. No, they would have a field day.
People are clever on the internet, man.
One other place that I'd love to go, I talk about this all the time too, that I would love to take you because I want to see if you could do it. It's called Nacho Daddy, and it's a big nacho place. There's one on the Strip, one on Fremont, but the thing I take my friends there for is the scorpion shot, and not everyone can do it. It's a double shot of tequila with a scorpion in it.
Live?
No, it's dead.
Well, then I could do that. That's easy.
You say that, but I've taken people who can't get it down, who can't get the scorpion down.
I have to swallow the scorpion?
Yeah, you take the shot with the scorpion.
Does it still have the barb on the back?
No, they take it off.
Okay, then I might have to chew it.
Oh, I've yet to chew it. I've always been able to just take it and go. I've never been had to chew it.
You just took it like a shooter?
Took it like a champ, bro.
Okay. So tell me about how that is going down. Because that seems like it would be a little sketchy.
It depends on how big it is. I've seen
ones in size.
I've seen different sizes. The last time I went, I had the bigger one. And so, like,
remember Jesus, man.
Well, it's funny because when you take it, when you're watching your shot or someone's watching it, you see the tequila go down, and then you see the scorpion start sliding down the glass, and so it's it's one of those things. Don't look. Don't fucking look. Buddy of mine did not keep it down, so it came back up that night whole, and it was funnier and shit to see that it was still whole.
No.
Yeah.
Well, okay, how much time between?
Hour and a half, maybe.
Did he drink more, or did it just come up naturally?
No, that was he took that shot. He was already shit faced.
Okay.
He took that shot, had like some beer, and then we bailed back to my place because he was like not feeling well. And maybe like an hour or so later, he's like, the scorpion came back up. Well, it doesn't count then, dude. Doesn't count.
Then you need to take it down again there, sir. Wash it off and then swallow it again, or else you're off of this trip. Get out.
It doesn't count. But
oh my God, that's great.
I have, and if you do it, you'd keep the shot glasses. So I have 4 or 5 of the shot glasses because I've done it every time people come. Every time we go, I go get one. So
sold, dude. Sold.
Yes. Hell yeah.
Does it have to be a certain type of booze, like tequila or something?
It's just it's tequila. It's their tequila brand.
Love tequila. So. All right. Okay.
So we have a plan.
What other weird shit you got like that?
There is a place that does a Bloody Mary. What's it called? Oyster shooter.
Like from an oyster.
No, like they take it and put it into the Bloody Mary shot. They make a Bloody Mary shot and they put the oyster in it and you take it that way. That one was interesting as well.
Oh, okay.
Not everyone can do that one either.
I mean, I get it. I get it.
You get it, yeah.
I don't know, man. That would be a little rough.
It's different. It's very different to take that kind of shot for sure.
Like when you're taking oyster shooters, it's very deliberate. You know what it's going to be. It's not floating in something else.
Mm-hmm.
You know when it's going to be in your mouth, and you know when it's going to be trying to slide down your throat. So, but I'd be willing to give her a shot. We can start there. End up at
100% down.
Scorpion at the end. Sure. What else you got? There's got to be something in the middle now. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. What do we got?
Let's see. What else have we done? Bro, there's so many places where I've gone to drink. There's one spot that I haven't been to in a while. It's called Sugar. And it's like a bar restaurant. And the first time I ever went there, I took a girlfriend of mine. We went and we got these drinks, and it's like they put dry ice in it, so it's like it's smoky and whatever. Bro,
in the drink?
Yeah,
like in your hand in the drink.
So in the drink, and then in the goblet, and you get straws. And I remember we had gummy bears in it too.
Okay. Straws. All right.
So it was straws, gummy bears, in a big goblet, and it was a tequila, but it tasted like grape soda. Huh. Dude, talk about fucking dangerous.
Man. No shit.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was imagining some sort of drink you brought to your lips, and I was like, yeah, if that ice touches you, man, you're donezo. Don't do that.
Well, and they do it at the table too, so it's really cool to watch how they do all that.
That's great.
There's a lot of cool spots like that. I'm a big smoked whiskey fan, or like old fashioned, so I go to anywhere that does any of those smoked things, which are really fun to watch.
Sure. Now, is that done through the aging in the barrel, or is that something else?
Sometimes. The one I got recently was at Yard House, and they put a cap on top of the cup and lit the cedar, and then lifted the cap, so it was smoky, and then the smoke came out, and dude, it was so good. It was so bomb.
That's awesome. That's kind of like a local restaurant in town that does makes their own s'mores desserts, complete with smoking their own marshmallow with the cedar chips. It's freaking nuts.
There's the two places that are normally busy that we walk by is the Hershey store and the M&M store.
Yeah,
they're both
always busy.
Yeah, always. Right outside the Hershey store on the top level of New York, is a s'mores place, and their s'mores are like that fucking big, dude. Like
What?
huge. Yeah, they're huge, giant.
That just sounds like a bunch of mess that I don't want, because
It's funny,
right into that, it's going to be
especially in your beard. Yeah.
everywhere.
Well, and it's funny because you can get them to where it's like open face, so it's like graham cracker, big ass marshmallow, chocolate, and then there's another one on the other side that's the same. So you put it together, it's like 2 marshmallows, 2 chocolates. It hurts to think about, but it's so good. It's so good.
That sounds like my diet in high school, man. Shit.
Another fun spot, depending on what you like. Check it out for most people. Go check out Coyote Ugly at New York, New York. It's upstairs. It's a
you gotta at least experience it.
Huh?
You gotta at least experience
you have to experience, because it is that. They're dancing on the bars. It's tiny. The unfortunate thing is the last time we went there, man, not only did I fall in love with the one redhead that was there, because, you know, too bad you Brinks didn't have any sisters, man. I'd have been all over that shit. But no, we went in there and it was like a weekend, and we really, I mean, I'm in my 30s and we were still the youngest people in there. Like the rest of the crowd was like older guys and couples, and you're just kind of like, all right, the vibe's cool, but
interesting.
You're kind of, you know what I mean? And the
girls
girls get
a
up
loop a little bit.
It does, but they do bring the girls up to dance on the bar, to dance on the little stage they have. So it's a fun time if you're in there for a couple and your girl wants to go dance, or for a group of girls that want to go. I've been there a handful of times. The one time was during a divorce party, and that was interesting.
Yours or someone else's?
No, it wasn't mine. I haven't been married, thank God.
Look, what happens there stays there, and it's easy to get old, especially the next day. So
yeah, no, but we walked in there, and it was just like, it was just a bunch of women celebrating this girl's divorce, and it was just a giant party. Like that's a thing there.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
So, yeah. So check it out, Coyote Ugly. Right outside of Coyote Ugly, there's a bar called Pour 24.
Wait,
it's open.
Spell pour.
P-O-U-R.
Not my people's. All right.
No. What do you think?
Like Pour 24, like you're poor. We'll pour you some drinks for cheaper.
Oh yeah. No, the drinks aren't expensive. They have deals all the time, but the bartenders there are really fucking cool. Nice. They're really fun to shoot the shit with, watch games. That right there. Come to a hockey game.
Never been to a hockey game, my man.
Bro, Golden Knights play. The Golden Knights?
The Golden Knights, okay.
Yeah, so it's right outside of New York at T-Mobile Arena is where they play. And before every game, they do a parade with the drum line, with the Golden Knight girls, the cheerleaders. Like they do a parade down the sidewalk near New York, all the way to the stadium.
Real?
Yeah, before every home game. Bro.
That's a trip.
It's fun to watch. It's crazy, and especially when like there's a rival team here. The best thing about Las Vegas is the fact that when you go into a game, whether it be football or hockey, there's a lot of rival fans there. So it's like the energy is just fucking lit.
Yeah,
and
no kidding.
Talk shit and have a good time. It's a great experience.
Huh.
It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've been getting into Shoresy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to watch a little hockey. Shoresy season 2 is coming out. Letterkenny season 11's already out. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Well, and you guys, Washington has the Kraken now.
Yeah. So eventually we're gonna have to. If you end up coming back out here, we'll have to hit one of those.
You'll have to come down here because I went to the Kraken's opening season, their first game against the Knights. I went to that game here in Las Vegas, and it was cool, man. It was a really cool experience.
Dope. That is dope. All right, we'll have to hit some Vegas trips here soon.
So there's a lot of fun stuff. I mean, I have stories about going to WNBA games because we have a WNBA team here, sitting courtside.
But that's nice.
That was really fun. I actually got to sit and meet with Mark Davis because he was sitting next to us on courtside. It was really cool.
Okay. I mean, I thought I was cool sitting courtside at Sun Kings games because my pops worked at the bank, but
yeah,
dope.
And
dude.
The bullshit part is I used to work with your dad and he never got tickets for that. So that's crap.
You weren't related. So
no, exactly.
I really wanted to go. I actually did a project on the Sun Kings growing up and did some interviews on players and coaches and stuff. And so that's kind of where my interest was. I was really sad to go too, but
yeah. It was sad to see them go. Now you have an indoor football team, but whatever. Arena football team.
Something, man. I don't know.
Like that. I don't know what you guys have.
There's a few local teams.
Yeah. But there's like shit. Las Vegas has a semi-pro soccer team, and we're gonna get an MLS team here soon too. So like,
that's so.
Yeah, I've been to a few of those soccer games, and it's funny how the team names are always like cool. The Golden Knights is one.
Mm-hmm.
We have a semi-pro hockey team, the Silver Knights.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Our soccer team is the Lights, Las Vegas Lights. Yeah.
Do they just have to rhyme or what?
Right. Okay. Here's the funny part. The WNBA team is the Aces. So, yeah.
I mean, not related, but related to Vegas, I guess.
Yep. Well, and so Mark Davis bought the team. So the owner of the Raiders bought the WNBA team. He owns them. Yeah. I go not only because I like watching basketball and it's all we have, but Kelsey Plum, their point guard, was a University of Washington graduate, and I was a huge fan of her when she went there too. So like, yeah,
that's great.
So I sit courtside, Kelsey.
I mean, boo you, Dub, but
right. Oh, that's right. You are
in a Cougar house, man.
WSU.
Pops and Trev both went.
That's right. That's right.
But funny. Hey, kudos.
It's always and that's the thing is there's so much fun to do here in Vegas. That's not the casinos,
Right. It's not just about gambling, man, and gambling and drinking. That ain't it.
I mean, go to dinner at the Eiffel Tower and go up and have dinner on that thing. It's so cool to go check out and go up to the top of it. So dinner at the Stratosphere is really fun because it spins around. And so, it's a cool experience. But yeah, man. So is there anything else you want to say about Vegas, you want to throw out there?
It was a good time. I really wish I had a lot more money at the time. I tell you what, I was a poor college student and just, got by with what I could and relied on the gratuity of others, which is very kind of them. But looking forward to coming again at some point, bringing the fam, checking out the sites, and not really interested in the drinking anymore. We don't do that, a ton. We gave up beer for ciders and, we'd much rather just not have to deal with that the next day. You know what I mean?
Right.
My body's old and decrepit at 36. So
are your kids kind of like into the Marvel world type thing too? Or?
Yeah. I mean, we've got we have a bin of costumes that they can put on and wear, and a lot of times the Spider-Man ones are put on. So
right on. So there is a Marvel Avengers kind of experience here in Las Vegas. It's at Treasure Island. It's actually pretty cool. It's a cool little spot to take your kids, go check out. It's a whole thing you walk through and does it all about all the Avengers characters. I did it with some friends and their kids not too long ago because I'm trying to do more stuff for the show so I can talk about it.
Right.
But it was a really cool experience, man. It wasn't expensive and it was fun, especially if you're like a nerd like me, obviously,
Yeah.
all my shit up here. So
yeah. How long you been in Vegas now?
5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's gotten any more expensive in that 5 years?
Recently, yes. But when the pandemic happened, man, like it was such a ghost town for those 2 years here. It was crazy. Being able to walk the middle of the strip with no cars, in the middle of the day, it was weird. It was like a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, because they shut down everything.
Huh. That's a trip.
People are walking in the middle of the street, riding their bikes, riding horses down the freaking strip. Like,
Sela living. There you go.
Right. Yeah, we were used to that.
How did it affect a lot of the economy down there? How'd that go?
So it hurt it quite a bit. 'Cause, we're mostly entertainment industry, so it hurt quite a bit of stuff. The hotels shut down for extended periods of time, and a lot of people lost their jobs, and they're slowly coming back. Uber took a huge hit here during the pandemic as well because no one was taking rides. You really couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
but it's slowly coming back. We're slowly getting there.
Sure.
Once the mask mandates went away, and once the amount of people in a building went away, it started to come back. And the NFL draft, when it came, helped a lot.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
Mm.
You need to come down for one of those if that ever happens again, because that was a blast.
The NBA summer league stuff was great, so I can imagine that the draft was fantastic.
It was crazy. I mean, I got to we got to meet some NFL pros. I happened to run into Darren Waller as he was being escorted across the whole complex. Like it was just a really cool experience just to hang out, and it's Vegas, so you're drinking the entire time.
Or partaking of your particular substance.
Yes, that too. And I saw a lot of that. Because you knew people weren't just drinking.
No.
But it's cool, man. It was, especially the concerts that happened too, like seeing Ice Cube perform, Weezer perform. It was.
You've seen both of those in Vegas?
Yeah, they performed during the draft. So it was,
that'd be really nice.
It was a fun time, and the cool thing was, which I hope they do more, is on the Bellagio fountains they built a stage, and so they had people out performing on the Bellagio fountains in the water. Like they built a stage on the water, and people were out there performing, and it was a really cool experience of what they did for Vegas. Vegas has a lot of people. Neat. So
that's true. Interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, one other thing that I got to make sure everyone does too. If the pools, great. I love the pools on the Strip. I'm a huge fan. One of the episodes we talk a lot about the pools. But Fremont has, oh my God, what's the name of the hotel? Hold on, I gotta look something. I'll have to edit this really well, but
yeah.
There's a pool there. Circa. Okay. So Fremont, you guys got to come down, check out Circa Hotel. There's the giant pool on the top of the building, the roof of the building. And it's probably one of the biggest sports screens in Las Vegas now as well. So yeah, it's trippy. It's a big ass brand new building. It's where Glitter Gulch was. That's why I think it's hilarious that we talked about. And you have to be 21 in order to get into the place, to even get into the hotel. But you take an escalator all the way to the roof, and the pool up there is awesome. It's so great. You pay to get in. You have to pay a cover to get in, which is whatever. It's like $20, I think, when we went. But 4 different pools, big ass screens watching all the sports, and you're outside, and it's just a great experience. It was super cool. Everyone needs to go check that place out. I'm a huge fan of it. But MGM has my heart. If we go to a pool and you come, we're going to MGM because it has a kid side, it has adult side, it has a mix, has a lazy river, which is awesome.
So would you say that the cabanas are worth it, or just find a spot and pull it
up? If you go with a group of people, cabanas are worth it.
Okay.
Especially with a family, I think a cabana is worth it because you have a home zone to keep your shit, especially if you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
I'd always do that because if you just get a spot and you leave for too long, someone's going to jack it.
Yeah.
Maybe
even take your stuff. Who knows?
Right. So if you're coming with a bunch of people or with kids, get a cabana, pay for it. You make your money off it pretty quickly.
How much do those run?
Depends on the time of day and weekends. What we do, a couple $100, I think, was one for all day, but it was like chairs and you got shade. Yeah. So some of the higher ones you can pay a little bit more, and it's an actual okay. So there was one on Fremont, the downtown Grand. It was $500, but it came with a bottle service too, and it was covered couches, and it was $500 for the 3 of us. But that's what it would cost just to rent the entire thing, anyways. So we got a bottle, drinks, and we had couches and a day bed, and it was perfect. We were out there all day, and we were in the shade. So
and that's the important part: is staying in the shade or staying
hydrated,
sunscreen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why I'm not terribly keen on the pools. Is I'm a pale white dude. I get burnt real quick, so I was used to be in that shade and covered with sunscreen at the same time. So.
Well, and luckily with that, you don't have to go outside as much anymore. You can walk through a lot of casinos. There's the monorail that runs all the way from the MGM all the way down to Sahara, so you don't have to walk. You can take a monorail, and it's cheap. Wow. It's just the only thing that sucks is it's a bitch to get to because you have to go through the entire casinos to get in and out.
Yeah, and that gets a little confusing too.
Top Golf is always fun. I'm a huge fan of Top Golf. I was We always try to go do that occasionally. People are here. It's a little more expensive if you're used to your Top Golf at home. It's a little spendy, but it's cool.
Yeah, we've been talking about going to that for like my pop's birthday or something like that. But man, the numbers were just outlandish.
Yeah, it's astronomical.
Yeah, like I'd have to be saving for a while to be able to pay for that.
We did it during the pandemic. They had a deal for locals. It was like $200 for the summer, and you can go any weekday you want for as long as you want, but during the weekdays. Right. So me and my buddy would, I'd take time off work and we'd end up at Topgolf as soon as it opened until that night, just day drinking and playing. And it was just the two of us. And
that sounds like a good time.
It was one person could have up to 5 people with them, so it worked out perfectly because it was just us. And so It was a fun time. I think the best part about it though was we got to see Sublime play once. They played a show at Topgolf one night. At Topgolf, yeah. The third level has a pool.
Sure.
And it's a 21 and older. It's pool, girls in bikinis, whatever, servers. But they had a stage for Sublime, and Sublime came out and played.
That's crazy.
Oh, shit, which reminds me, concerts.
Yes.
So a lot of cool venues. Like I've said before earlier in the show, Broken Bowl, great spot. Mandalay Bay has a place called The Beach, and it is basically a giant stage outside in a wading pool, and outside of the water is sand leading back up into the hotel. And so it's like a beach. It's a really cool spot. I saw just this past year, I saw Sublime play there with Dirty Heads. Yeah, it was a great show.
That's a fun concert.
I think we saw the Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees played there last summer. And it was really fucking funny, dude, watching them play.
Oh, man.
Talking about nostalgia. Bryce Vine opened up for Sublime one time, which was really cool. And the security is super cool there, though. So, like, disclaimer, I can't get in trouble for this. I'm going to say this or not. But if you're a pot smoker and if you want to go bring a joint to one of these shows, security there is cool. So if you're going to a Sublime show and you're smoking a joint out there, they don't give a shit.
That is Sublime. I mean, what do you expect?
As long as you're cool about it, Vegas is cool because it's legal here.
I was gonna ask if it was legal or not.
There's actually a place. I haven't done it. I want to try it. There's a place that sells on the strip. It's a dispensary. It's a little pop-up dispensary, but they do slushies with CBD slushies.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. It's on my.
Okay.
Gotta check it out sometime list. So
yeah. All right. Nice.
Yeah, man.
So is it all just hotels, or they're like straight up concert venues?
There's concert. There's concert venues as well. There's down on Fremont. There's a couple spots for concert venues you go to for like bigger venues. I saw Papa Roach one year at this big venue. It was really cool. I'm trying to think where else. There's places off the Fremont, like the Stage Door or Backstage, and all these other places that have places to go watch. But I try to go to those ones. I try to go to the ones that aren't casino related because I like being able to get into a mosh pit and still screw around if I can. Those are always really fun to go check out. So
nice, right on, man. Yeah, sounds like there's lots of options available to you down there.
There is a lot. So when people need to come down, and I say this all the time, 3 to 4 days, perfect amount of time most of the time for people. You get longer sometimes. It kind of you spend your money too fast or whatever. But 3 to 4 days, and pick one day to schedule out something to do. But rest of the time, just roll with the punches because you never know what might pop up while you're here.
Honestly, you want maybe 1 or 2 days, depending on how many you're staying, to be scripted, to have an itinerary. You want the rest to just be exploration, man. There's so much out there that you just run into.
Right. And I've had couples, I've had friends recently come down, 2 couples come down. And again, being the single guy, I'm always the tour guide for them. But they came down and wanted to script it all. And it didn't work out to how they wanted it because that's just how Vegas is.
Right.
Especially if you come down your first day and you get freaking lit, you're a little slow the next day.
That really, and that next morning sets the tone for the rest of the week for how long you're going to be there.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're already just, yeah. And then you can't get any better. it's just gonna go downhill from there.
Yeah, no, it ends terribly at that point.
Oh,
Right on, man. I appreciate you coming on the show and telling us your stories, and I hope to see you soon.
yeah, I appreciate you inviting and hearing the stories and letting me talk for hours on end here.
That's fun times, dude. I had a great time. I can't wait till you come down and visit. Thank you, everyone, for watching today. Again, Beyond the Neon Veil. I'm Cousin Ryan. This is my really good friend, Brink. And remember to come down here. And not everything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, people. Remember that. So we'll see you all next time. Have a great night.